Şerifeyn Yavuz Sultan Selim Han, Ebu'l-Feth vel Mevazi Fatih Sultan Mehmet Han ve Serdar Hakan Sultan Abdülhamid Han cennet mekan, Firdevs-i Aşiyen Haziratın ervahına ve anu inayetine, alel husus bu caminin banisi, Sahib-ul hayrat ve hasenat, Sahib-ul Şeyh Abdulkerim el-Kibrisi Rabbani Hazretlerinin ve bugüne kadar içerisinden gelmiş geçmiş imam, müezzin, kayyım, cemaatinin ve kahve ehli imanın ervahı için, Allah rızası için El Fatiha. Euzubillahimineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. İnnallâhe ve melâiketehu yusallûne alen nebi. Ya eyyühellezîne âmenû sallu aleyhi ve sellimû teslîmâ. Allahümme salli ala seyyidina Muhammedin ve ala ali seyyidina Muhammed. Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. Eşhedü en la ilahe illallah. Eşhedü en la ilahe illallah. Eşhedü enne Muhammeden Resulullah. Eşhedü enne Muhammeden Resulullah. Hayya ale's-salah. Hayya ale's-salah. Hayya alel-felah. Hayya alel-felah. Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. La ilahe illallah.
La ilahe illallah. Elhamdülillah. Elhamdülillah. Elhamdülillahi Rabbil alemin. Ve salatu ve selamu ala Resulina Muhammedin ve ala alihi ve sahbihi ecmain. Nahmadullah Teala ve nastağfir ve eşhedü en la ilahe illallah vahdehu la şerike leh ve eşhedü enne seyyidina Muhammeden abduhu ve habibuhu ve resuluhu sallallahu aleyhi ve ala alihi ve ezvacihi ve sahabi tabihi ve raşidin mahadin min ba'di ve zemmet ala tahkik ve zemhir alameti hulefe resul ala tahkik umarel mu'minin Hazreti Ebu Bakır, Umar, Osman ve Ali ve ala bakır sahabi tabi'in ridvanullah ta'ala aleyhim ecmain. Ya eyyuhal mu'minul hazirun, ittaqullaha ta'ala wa ati'u Allaha ma'allazina taqaw allazina hum muhsinun. All praises are due to Allah, Lord of the universes. All praises are due to Allah. Rabbul Izzat, who says in the Holy Quran, Surah Al-Ibrahim, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Never think that Allah would fail to keep His promise to His messengers. Truly, Allah is mighty, the Lord of revenge. One day the earth will be changed to a different earth, and so will it be in the heavens. And men will come forth unto Allah, the One, the Almighty, and you will see the guilty on that day tied together in chains. Their garments will be made of liquid tar, and their faces covered with fire, so that Allah may repay each soul what it has earned. Truly, Allah is rapid in accounting. Here is a message for mankind. Let them take a warning from it, and let them know that He is no other than one Allah. Let men of understanding be reminded. Sadaqallah al-Azim. And we are asking for the sake of your Prophet, alayhi salatu wasalam, Ya Allah, protect us from your accounting and grant us your mercy. May peace and blessings be upon the mercy to the universe, Sayyidina Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. He alayhi salatu wasalam said, beautify your gatherings by sending salawats on me. Your sending of salawats will definitely be your light on Judgment Day. Ya Allah, bless our Master Muhammad ﷺ and his noble family and his blessed companions, especially his four friends, the Khulafa Rashidin, Hazreti Abu Bakr Siddiq, Hazreti Umar Farooq, Hazrat Osman al-Ghani and Hazrat Ali al-Murtaza and all those who follow them until the last day. Bless the Mashayikh of our noble tariqat and bless the sultans of the noble Khilafat al-Usmaniyah who preserved the Sunnatul Rasul. Bless all those who walk in their footsteps until the last day. Ameen. Ya ayyuhal mu'minun, O believers. Rajab Shahrullah came and passed. And now Sha'ban al-Sharif is about to take his leave from us. Nothing stands between us and Ramadan but a matter of days. Inshallah Rahman, may we enter it with sincerity and faith, and may we leave it dressed with the signs of our Lord's acceptance and pleasure. Amen. O believers, our religion is Islam. Our book is the Quran. Our messenger is Sayyidina Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. Our millet is that of Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put everything clearly for us through the example of his messenger alayhi salatu wasalam. And that messenger alayhi salatu wasalam is sent to us not only as a giver of good news, but as a warner. Just as he alayhi salatu wasalam said in his first statement to his family, the Quraysh, he said, O sons of Abd Manaf, I am a warner. I am like a man who saw the enemy and went to guard and then goes to guard his people, but is afraid the enemy might reach before him. So he shouted, be on guard. What must we guard against? We must guard against the anger and the divine punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in the ayats we read from Surah Al-Ibrahim that He is Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Sari' al-Hisab, quick to take accounting. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala warns us over and over again in the Holy Quran that He is capable and powerful to take revenge against the disobedient creatures of the earth and to show His punishment. The Quran is filled with the histories of such nations, and the Quran is for us until Judgment Day to take lessons from it. Nuh alayhi salam warned his nation, but in the end, Allah, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, overwhelmed in the flood those who rejected His signs. They were indeed a blind people. Hud alayhi salam was sent to Ad, the nation blinded in shirk and pride, but they rejected him. And in the end, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, cut off the roots of those who rejected His signs and did not believe. Salih alayhi salam was sent to Samud, the descendants of those who were saved from the punishment of Ad, but who then deviated again. They were unjust, and the rich oppressed the poor. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So the earthquake took them off guard, and they lay prostrate in their homes in the morning. Sadaqallah al-Azim. Nimrud declared war on Allah, and he was defeated by a mosquito army. Lut alayhi salam, the relative of Hazrat Ibrahim, was sent to a nation that was perverting the natural order set down by Allah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. And Allah rained down on them a shower of brimstone. Then see what was the end of those who indulged in sin and crime. Sadaqallah al-Azim. And Hazrat Shu'aib alayhi salam was sent to Madian, who engaged in robbery and cheating people. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. And they denied him, so the punishment of the day of the black cloud seized them. Indeed, it was the punishment of a terrible day. Sadaqallahu al-Azim. The Quran al-Karim is a history and a warning to mankind. But the mankind that is the ummah of the Akhir Zaman and the ummah of the Nabi of the Akhir Zaman. All that warning is not for the earlier nations. It is for us, to show us that we are capable and able to deviate like the earlier nations, but Allah is quick to judge and we must take lesson. These nations, these ummats that are mentioned in the Quran, they were committing one sin, one wrong, disobedient action as a group. Just one wrong characteristic. And for that wrong action, the entire nation was punished. Look to the ummah of the Akhir Zaman. Look to us in the Akhir of the Akhir Zaman. What are the disobedience and rebellion and sins that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned in the Quran that we are not committing right now? So many know how to say the ayat. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. You are the best of the nations raised up for mankind. You enjoin what is right and forbid what is evil and believe in Allah. Sadaqallah al-Azim. Yes, the ayat says that we are the best of nation. But the same ayat has conditions. The conditions that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put is saying that we are the best nation when we have amri bil ma'ruf wa nahy anil munkar. We are the best nation when we believe in Allah and we enjoin, we encourage, we hold on to what is good and we forbid evil. And to enjoin good and evil, to enjoin good and to forbid evil is the work of the prophets. And to continue that work, one needs, you must have. It is the divine protocol to have the representative of that prophet, the Khalifatul Rasul, this ummah, this Akhir Zaman ummah. We not only abandon the Khalifa, we reject him now. And we deny, and with that we abandon the divine laws. When we abandon Allah's divine laws, when we abandon the true belief in Allah, we cannot claim that we are the best of nations. Because in reality, today's people are raising their heads against the divine laws. And we are declaring individual lordship against Allah, and we are challenging Allah, and we're trying to compete with him for authority. Just like Nimrud. This is just the sunnat of Nimrud. Yes, we have become Nimruds. We have not only declared our own lordship, we seek to burn the truth. Like how Nimrud tried to burn Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam. And we are trying to kill Allah. Understand, Nimrud wanted to kill Allah. He raised an army for the purpose of challenging and defeating Allah. Nimrud was not satisfied with the lordship of the earth. He wanted the lordship of the heavens too. He wanted to oppress and dominate and tyrannize everything. That is today's people. Nimrud, he tried to burn the truth. He threw the Sahib-ul of his time, Ibrahim alayhi salam, into the fire. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroyed his evil plans. Allah is Latif. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. They plot and plan, and Allah also plans. But the best of planners is Allah. Sadaqallahu al-Azim. So he turned. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala turned the fire into a garden. And as for Nimrud's army, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed their weakness in his sight by sending his weakest soldiers, the mosquito army, to destroy the proud army of Nimrud that nobody can hold against that time. And from that mosquito army, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends his most crippled soldier, the broken-legged mosquito, to enter Nimrud's head and to be the cause of his destruction. Allah is the best of planners. And Allah does not accept a challenge. This is the result of disobeying and challenging Allah. In Akhir Zaman Insan, Akhir Zaman mankind, we have collected and gathered all the disobedience, all the rebelliousness, all the arrogance, all the dirtiness, all the crimes that were the cause of the destruction of the earlier nations. And those earlier nations were punished for committing one sin. Majority of them committing one sin altogether. But the nation of the Akhir Zaman is committing every crime altogether. But the sky stands. It still stands. And the arrogant man looks on the horizon. But deep inside, he knows that the promise of Allah is coming. He can never be satisfied, and he can never be at peace. The tyrant can never be at peace. Just like the army of Nemrut who saw the dark clouds coming on the horizon, just like the nation of Nuh who felt the first drops of the burning rain, so too the Akhir Zaman, mankind, they now feel, we're just feeling the first traces of divine anger. Because this punishment that is coming to us now is affecting the entire globe. It is not one group, it is not one country, it is not some countries. It is affecting and punishing the whole planet and everyone. Rahmatal lil Alameen, Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa alayhi salatu wassalam, he tried to protect us from that divine azab. Sahib-ul Saif is telling us that the Holy Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam, he asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, saying, Ya Rabbi, don't punish my nation like you punished the people of Nuh through the flood. And Allah Zul Jalal replied, Ya Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam, I'm not punishing them that way. But your nation will be so disobedient when you are veiled from them, they will turn back to unbeliever lifestyle. They're going to run after the Jews and the Christians step by step, and they're going to invent a fire and they're going to burn themselves with that fire. The flood of fire is going to happen to them. And what is happening today? It is not yet that fire punishment. If people are thinking this is the biggest punishment before the judgment day, this is nothing yet. That punishment, definitely, that punishment of the fire, the flood of fire, definitely, it is going to come because all nations had come together to invent the weapons to bring a flood of fire decades ago. Definitely, if you don't look at this plague that is spreading as a punishment from Allah, if we continue in our arrogance and rebellion, definitely that flood of fire is going to overtake us. But that is not the punishment that is reaching to mankind today. The flood of fire is not the punishment that is reaching to us today. This that is happening to us today is an air punishment. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Al-Qadir. He can do whatever He wants, however He wants. And He is sending us a punishment now that in reality is also from our own hands. We have poisoned the air to ourselves. That if we breathe in it, it will enter our lungs and cut our breathing. The flood of fire has already been invented by our own hands. Now the air is poisoned by our own actions. O mankind, don't fool yourselves to think that this is not a punishment. Look to the signs of your Lord. This plague has spread and locked people in their homes during the holy months. Rajab, Sha'ban and Ramazan are supposed to give people mercy and peace and spirituality. But instead, these months have become filled by fear and anxiety and dread. Yes, there have been plagues that has reached to this world, so many, for hundreds of years, for thousands of years, but never a plague like this, never a fear like this, that it is affecting everyone, man, woman, young and old, rich and the poor, at the same time. Now, even the holy places, they are closed and their gates are shut. When the gates of mercy are closed, what gates do you think are open? But the majority of mankind don't believe this sickness is a punishment. Muslims are not believing that this sickness is a punishment. Why is that? We don't believe that it is. If we are, you would see 1 billion Muslims. Allah has already stopped the activity of the world. So it is not difficult for 1 billion Muslims to stop everything and to say, now at this time, at this hour, on these days, everyone fall to sajda and ask for forgiveness. But no. They come together to collect salawats. They come together to recite certain du'as. But you can only ask, you can only be given tawbah nasuha. You can only make a tawbah nasuha, a tawbah that is sincere, if you are sincere that you have made a mistake. If you don't believe that you have made a mistake, how can you ask for forgiveness sincerely? This is Muslims of the Akhir Zaman. We step arrogantly on the earth because we think we have done nothing wrong. But we are committing crimes against Allah and allowing crimes to be committed against Allah and His Prophet and the holy ones and the righteous ones and those ones who are Muslim. And we are drowning in the rebellion of the previous nations, and yet we think that we are the best ones. This is rebellious man. And if we think we did nothing wrong, then how can we believe that we deserve what is coming to us? And if we don't believe that it is deserved, then how can we take any lesson? And this is a continuous ghaflat that brings destruction. And how many Muslims are angry at Allah? Yes, there are some, a handful maybe, who understands that this is a punishment. Yes, those are exceptions. But the state of the believers, they have become so weak and confused that they don't even know how to repair their relationship with Allah. They don't even know how to pay the debt of their mistakes to Allah. They don't even know how to ask forgiveness from Allah properly. We just passed the Nisfu Shaban, the Laylatul Barat. We don't see people going around saying we are collecting billions and billions of astaghfirullah on this night of Laylatul Barat so that our Barat can be clean. So everything has become a show. We are not taking Allah seriously. But to ask forgiveness from Allah properly, it is not a mystery. And He has said it plainly in Surah Al-Nisa, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. If when they wronged themselves, if they had come to you, Ya Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, and asked forgiveness of Allah, and the Messenger had asked forgiveness on their behalf, they would have found Allah accepting their tawbah, and they would have found that Allah is merciful. Sadaqallah al-Azim. But who believes? Who believes in Shafa'at today? It has become a thing that Ahl Sunnat have to hide. Who believes that the mercy and the forgiveness of Allah lies in the hands and the du'as of the Holy Prophet and the holy people? Who believes that now? Everyone believes if I can cut a ticket to go to Kaaba, I can ask for myself. Everyone believes if I can make Umrah every 3 months, I can ask myself. I don't need anyone. So, we're turning around and around in the dark. We're falling off. And we don't know how to get up. Because today, everyone is talking and planning, saying, they are saying, oh, we cannot wait for everything to go back to normal. Normal. What was normal? What was that normal world where the unbelievers, they're stepping on the honor and the blood of believers without any consequence? What is a normal? Where people who say La ilaha illallah are dragged from their homes to be burnt in the street and no one can defend them. What is a normal when the rich spread an economic system that keeps the poor enslaved forever and allows them to gather the wealth of the entire world in their hands and nothing happens to them? What is a normal where children and women are sold like animals to be used by the tyrants? What is a normal where the rights of mankind, they are like a joke written by the oppressors? What is the normal when the earth is destroyed daily by the greed of mankind? What is the normal where even the sky is torn apart by mankind's tyranny? What is the normal when people just don't care? What is the normal when what they care about is just to laugh and have a good time? That is the normal that we want to return to. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has broken that normal through the weakest creature. He has not split the earth and the skies yet. May that normal never return. May we not accept that as normal. Sayyidul Kainat alayhi salatu wasalam came. He came 1400 years ago. He came to break that normal. He broke the system of the Quraysh that allowed for the oppression of the weak, of the slaves, of the women, of the children, of the tribeless. And he alayhi salatu wasalam brought a divine nizam that is most important. A divine law that gave rights to every creature, human and non-human, that was created by Allah. That was his mission, and he trained enough people to continue that mission until Judgment Day. But today as Muslims, we have rejected that tradition more than 100 years ago. And we are not continuing that tradition. Are today's Muslim kings and presidents and prime ministers and leaders continuing that tradition? Or have they taken lesson from the unbelievers and taken the unbelievers as their teachers and their guides and have become the Ahli Zulm? We have become those who see the weak and helpless as a fuel that will feed the fire of their own greed, their own political ambition, and their own political power. They have traded the palaces of paradise for this dirty dunya. These Ahli Zulm Muslim leaders, they have offered the blood of the poor Muslims as a tribute to these deputies of Dajjal so that they might sit at the table of kufr and bend down to their masters. This is the normal of Akhir Zaman, and we don't want that normal. And individual Muslims have also brought on a new normal as well. You go against the laws of Allah and His Prophet, you openly rebel against Allah and demand the support and praise of the Ummah. This is what we're up to. Muslims are openly disobeying Allah and saying, but you must agree with me, you must praise me, you must say that I am the best. And if anyone speaks up and says, no, haq is haq and batil is batil, you cannot change it, these shaitans jump on them to say, but Allah loves everyone. Allah created us this way. Allah knows my heart. Only Allah can judge. Allah will forgive. Allah is merciful. They rebel against their Lord and claim to know Him. But understand, even that one who is known from all over the world as the one who loves Allah most and is known for his love of Allah and Allah's love of him, Hazrati Maulana Rumi, he is saying, addressing to these people in his Masnavi, saying, this betrayal brings ugliness. It turns fertile earths to stones. Sajda is not allowed to every heart. Mercy is not for everyone. Don't sin and break the law and depend on thinking, I will repent and get His protection. Real tawbah needs the heat and the tears of pain. How can those that they fearlessly disobey Allah claim to be His beloved ones? But that is our condition today. But despite this, Allah's mercy is still falling, descending to the earth. But know that this is not for us. The mercy, it is not for us. The Holy Prophet ﷺ said, Ya muhajirun. And that is especially important for the Muslims of the Akhir Zaman, because so many, they are no longer staying in the lands and the countries of the forefathers, but they have become muhajir. He says, Ya muhajirun. There are 5 5 things that you will be tested with. And I seek protection with Allah for you so that you don't have to live to see these tests. Immorality never appeared among a people to such an extent that they did it openly, except that plagues and diseases that the ancestors didn't know spread amongst them. Meaning that when people become immoral, and it appeared to such an extent that they do it openly, to know that Allah will send plagues and diseases that even the ancestors didn't know. They don't cheat in weights and measures. When the nation cheat in weights and measures, then they will be hit with famine, severe calamity, and the oppression of their rulers. When they withhold the zakat, the rain will be withheld from the sky. And if it were not for the animals, no rain would fall on them. They do not break their promise to Allah and His Messenger, except that Allah will allow their enemies to overpower them and take some of what is in their hands. Unless the leaders rule according to the book of Allah and seek all good from what Allah revealed, Allah will cause them to fight one another. And the Prophet ﷺ speaks the truth. This is what is happening to us. And we don't even deserve the rain. Allah is sending it only for the animals. Yeah, we don't even deserve rain. A rain is a symbol of Allah's rahmat. The Akhir Zaman, Bani Adam, we are not even deserving of Allah's rahmat in the month of Rahmatul lil Alameen, in the month of Ramadan. Allah is making everything around us to poison. Because we have done it for ourselves, it has become poison for us, even the air. Even people are poison to each other. Understand this. Even people have become poison to each other. They have become a means of sickness to each other. This is a big sign for the Ahl Zikr, for the people who think, for the people who have belief. This plague, this pandemic, inshallah Rahman, it will end. It will lift one day. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to look to the hearts of the believers to see if they learned anything. Otherwise, the flood of fire is just around the corner. That is the destiny of those who take no lesson from the sickness and want only to return to the evil normal of the Akhir Zaman. Things will not only go back to normal, things will become worse. And the next series of events that will come after the sickness, it will lead to the Malhamat al-Kubra, the greatest war. And our destiny, it depends on our intentions and actions in these holy months. We must acknowledge our crime before Allah. To be forgiven, to be cleaned, we must understand what we have done. We must take responsibility. We must know that we have become rebels to Him. And we must follow the way of the Hazrat Yunus alayhi salam, who said, La ilaha illa anta subhana inni kuntu minas zalimin. Yeah, alhamdulillah, we have a Shaykh who is teaching us how to fix our relationship with Allah. And Shaykh Effendi, Shaykh Abdulkerim, Kibrisi, Rabbani, Sahib-ul, Saif, and our Nakşibendi Mashayikh, they are teaching us to open these 3 holy months with the dua of Wali Abbas. This dua is not asking for more blessings. This dua is not asking for opening of this dunya and the akhirat. This dua is a confession and admission of guilt and begging for forgiveness. So in this last Juma of Sha'ban, entering into the holy days of Ramadan, we're making that dua, coming to our Lord's presence as rebels and begging Him to clean us and make us His pleasing servants. Ya Allah, I seek forgiveness of You for everything that I made tawbah for but then went back to. And I ask forgiveness of You for everything I displeased You with, and all that concerns me with which You are displeased. And I ask forgiveness of You for the favors which I used for increasing my disobedience against You. And I ask forgiveness of You for the sins which no one knows except You, and no one sees except You, and no one covers except Your mercy, and nothing saves except Your forgiveness and kindness. There is no ilah except you alone. You are the Most High, and I was one of the oppressors. Ya Allah, I ask forgiveness of you for the injustice I committed against your servants. Whatever of your male or female servants whom I have hurt physically or in their dignity or in their property, give them of your treasure which lacks nothing. And I ask you to honor me with your mercy, which covers all things. Do not humble me with your punishment, but give me what I ask of you, because I am in great need of your mercy, O most merciful of the merciful. May Allah send blessings upon Muhammad والسلام, and upon all his companions. There is no power and no might except in Allah, the High and the Exalted. May Allah raise the stations of our Shaykh. May he intercede for us here and hereafter. Ameen. Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah. Lazim. La ilaha illa huwa. لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك والحمد قدير لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك من الظالمين لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك من الظالمين لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك سبحان قدوس ربنا رب الملائكة والروح سبحان قدوس ربنا رب الملائكة سبحان قدوس ربنا رب الملائكة إن دين عند الله الإسلام قام الصلاة اللهم صل وسلم